What's up, guys? Justin Von Warnke here with a quick camera review for a cellular trail camera or cellular game camera, whatever you want to call them. Kuool is one of the brands, I believe that's the way you say it, Kuool is one of the brands that I have been using lately. And this was my introduction to cellular game cameras with this camera. I learned a whole lot. And I'm going to go on the computer later in this video and basically show you how I set up with a screen recorder, how I set up all the functions and everything like that for this to work with just simply programming a little file on the SD card for the menu that basically goes into the camera and does its magic. All right. And basically, I've been very impressed with this game cam. It's got a GPS function. It's got a cellular function. It can work as a regular game camera if you don't want to use either of those. And it'll send pictures straight to your phone. All right. There's really cool things like that because you can figure out when you can go hunting, why you should go hunting now, when the pigs are coming in, when the deer are coming in, any of that stuff. I've been pig hunting lately because we're in the summer months here in Texas, and basically there's just a lot of different advantages with having a camera that can take pictures and send it instantly to your phone. And this has worked really well. So first of all, basically this has a SIM card and it has a standard SD card. All right, it has two of those, or both of those. All right, and basically the SIM card is micro SIM, I believe, is the kind that goes in it. And I learned a lot about SIM cards in this whole experience as well. Basically, the SIM card goes up, the SD card goes up here, the SIM card goes down here, the upper and lower section of the side of the unit, all right? And then you've got connections for HDMI and USB, so you can, control the camera, do that kind of stuff, and see what the hard drive looks like and that kind of stuff with the HDMI and USB. And basically, there's just a lot of different capabilities to this. I'm using I'm using Energizer Ultimate Lithium batteries. I'm tongue-tied today because I've been doing a lot of the video work. Basically, Ultimate Lithium, which is the best batteries you can buy, and I highly recommend, even if you use a solar charger or a battery pack or some other kind of 12-volt source, that you use something that's going to last you for a while, not cheap batteries. You need 1.5 volt or higher each of those AA batteries that you use, and this takes 12 of them. So you can use Energizer Max, you can use these Energizer Ultimate Lithium batteries, and then for backup you can use a solar power charger that you can get as well from them. I've used this one right here, had a lot of luck with it, and it's been a really good idea there too. So basically setting this up, I'm going to go and do that on my computer. I'll talk all about how to get a hold of all the different metrics and everything that you need to get everything functioning correctly here. A couple of pointers, all right? The SD card will set on a loop. You want to set it on a loop so it doesn't get full. And basically that way it can cycle through and do some different, parts there, do different cycling and never stop taking pictures, all right? That's the whole idea there, is the SD card is always in motion. And basically you've got the menu, you've got a test on, you've got off, you've got different modes. You can take a picture just to test the camera out and send the picture to your cell phone, plug in your cell phone number. It's really easy. The main thing I learned in this experience is you cannot use an AT&T post-pay cell card, okay? I use a T-Mobile SIM card because I switched from AT&T to T-Mobile, so that's what I've got in here now. But I also use in another camera that I've got, because I've got two of these, I also use a prepaid SIM card that's an AT&T SIM card in my other camera, all right? And basically that just gives you flexibility to where you can top up your amount and go on so on and so forth when it comes. But the postpay will not work. I learned that the hard way, all right? So prepay and just keep it topped up, keep the service going. If you let the service lapse more than 60 to 90 days, you'll lose all the rest of the money you had on the SIM card, and it's just no good. So I had that experience with AT&T as well. So keep your SIM card active and keep it topped up and keep it in good service. Or you can use T-Mobile postpaid plan. If you use T-Mobile, just get one line. It's like $30 a month, and it's relatively inexpensive. This will send you GPS stamping on your pictures. That's worked real well. The 4G connectivity as far as sending pictures from where I've got this in the woods has worked real well, and I've just been, overall satisfied with the way this camera has worked. The IR at night, they don't flash. They glow. I don't even think they glow very much because I can't really notice them glowing. And then for external power, because the batteries, you want to use good batteries, like I said in it. The batteries don't last forever, so you want to use, a good set of a battery pack, like I'm going to show you a picture of right here, that I got from HME, I believe is the company I bought it from. I got it from Academy, which are our local sports and outdoor store. And that was about $46, I think, for a solar pack, or for solar. Is a solar charging 12-volt battery pack, and this is an actual solar charger that can hook into the line and charge your camera solar, via solar power, as long as solar power exists, and it'll run off of the battery that's inside of here, or the battery that you have in your other battery source, and that's another good way to keep the camera running for weeks and weeks at a time. So anyway, we're going to go into my office and go check out how to do the menu on the computer, how to work it on a desktop or a laptop, plug it into your SD card, and get her done. Alright, thank you guys so much, and here we go.
Alright guys, Dustin Von Warnke sitting down with you in my office, my humble abode. You see I have all my deer antlers and sheep and everything else in the back, awards in my man cave of an office here. Lots of fun stuff. So we're talking basically about how to set this up. How to set up your cam. First of all, you get your SD card, plug it into your SD card reader or SD card slot in your computer or laptop, and then you download this program from the manufacturer's website. How you do that is basically just search the website. I don't have the exact website on my right offhand, but you can search it, or you can contact support and get the support to send you this file. Which is basically a menu config plus file, and it's very simple. It's really easy. And what you're doing basically here is saving this information as a document or as a file, and putting that file on your SD card. When you insert the SD card in your camera, everything takes place that you have put on this screen here, that you have put in this program. Everything takes place and overrides everything else that is in the camera. I believe that's the way it works, because that's the way it works on mine. I played with this a lot, guys, okay? So I know a few things about what to do and what not to do, things to select, things not to select. I'm not a true expert at everything, so please don't take everything that I say as gospel. I'm not the manufacturer. I'm just some guy that's using this stuff, the software and everything like that. So, please hold me harmless on some of this stuff that if it doesn't work out exactly the way that I say. But this is fairly straightforward. Basically, you have the the menu config plus. You can load a file that you've actually already loaded, if you've already created one. The default sets all the settings to default, which I'm going to do real quick because I was in another screen earlier. Then when you're done, you save the config file down here where it says save config file. Alright, so basically you have a couple of different options: mode, picture, video, or picture and video. I choose picture. Uses up a lot less battery, transmits the things to the pictures to my phone real easy, and that's what you should do, if that's what you want to do. If you just want to do picture and just get the text messages sent to your phone, every time you hit every time the camera triggers, it will instantly send those pictures to your phone. English, of course, is my language. Image is 5 megapixels. You can go to 12, but don't use it as an actual, don't expect your SD card is not going to cycle. That's one thing. But also, you're not going to be able to get your MMS, your text messages, on 12 megapixels. Alright, it's too big of a file to send, from what I understand. So 5 megapixels is the happy medium between these four. 5 basically is decent quality, and it transmits very well on a cell phone. You choose next, video size, full HD, HD, or VGA. Up to you on what quality you want if you're doing video. Again, video sucks a lot of battery juice, so just keep that in mind. If you want to keep your camera out there long term, obviously VGA is going to transfer the best on data and email. So that's just an idea there. Video length, if you're doing video. Interval, I've set my interval at about 30 seconds to a minute, so I'm going to type in 30 seconds, and that's the interval, is the delay between the time that your camera takes pictures and rearms to take pictures again. Shoot number, I mean, you can do three photos at once. I just prefer to do one. It's kind of like the cell phone and HDR, it's just kind of whatever you're into, but I like to just do one. PIR says sensitivity. There's a lot written on this, guys, as far as body heat and low and high and medium and when to use whatever. The problem I was having with my camera is I was eating through batteries because it was taking pictures of things that weren't really happening, as far as leaves blowing through. I had it on medium, and basically it was triggering, quite honestly, a lot more than I wanted it to. So I started setting it to low, and basically it will get situations, that are really happening in front of you, a lot of movement and that kind of stuff, a little bit more likely than and ignore some of the rest of the stuff on low. So there's just some food for thought for you. Date and timestamp, I believe in that. I always like to date and timestamp my photos. Record audio if you're doing video only, or if you're doing video and picture, it's up to you. SD cycle on. This cycles your card as it fills up, and basically, recycles the data so it can continue to take pictures with that SD card being full. And basically it runs in a cycle, and it's basically, healthy for the card because it doesn't get full and stop working. And that's one thing you don't want to happen to a remote camera in the field. GPS field, switch on. Like to know where my stuff is handling. Local time zone, that's going to be up to you wherever you are. I think I'm +6, or -6. I don't remember exactly what Central Texas is, or Texas is here in our time zone for UTC code. You can easily look that up online by doing a quick keyword search of what zip code you're in. Not zip code, it's getting late. What time zone you're in, okay? So there's that choice. Alright, password I keep off, serial number I keep off, time lapse off, org name. You can do all these things if you want to. SMS control I leave off, because if you turn it on, it'll give you an interval in between when you want your messages and stuff like that. So I don't worry too much about that one. The one that you've really got to pay attention on, guys, is this one right here, the MMS/4G. This is where the rubber meets the road. You have a timer down here that you can set up for this to take, pictures during this time and not take pictures during a set time. That's up to you. You got 2 timers you can use there. I don't use those, but the rubber meets the road right here, guys. MMS/4G. Click on that, and you have some options. Auto mode is what I always choose because it automatically will work in most cases. MMS off option, you want to choose VGA or QVGA. Quality video or regular video, if you're even doing video. I just put mine on VGA, but I want to turn that MMS function on so that way it will cycle the pictures to my phone automatically. You don't want to leave this off. You want to turn it on QVGA or just regular VGA. Data option, you want to choose to go mail or an email or FTP, data transfer. Alright, if you select any one of those, they're going to open up these categories over here and over here that basically give you the option to do that. Don't have a lot of experience with sending emails or FTP access and that kind of stuff. I'm pretty simple. I like to get my text messages from my phone of my camera, and that's all I do. So I'm going to leave that option off for me, but you do whatever you want to at home. Alright, operator AT&T. This is important. You got to select whether you're with AT&T or T-Mobile. That's the two that this camera I'm reviewing work with. Keep in mind, again, like I said earlier on this video, AT&T will only work on prepaid plans. They will not work on postpaid plans. This camera itself that I ordered, when I did order it, came with a prepaid cell card. So I can operate service on there. I can buy service on there. And basically keep reloading it and topping it up every month and that kind of stuff. And with AT&T prepaid, it will not work on postpaid. I tried it. It like took, a lot of gray hairs and, a lot of no hairs in my case. Kind of racking my brain trying to figure out why it wouldn't work. And I just didn't know. So just so you know, that's the thing. AT&T will not work with postpaid, but it will work for prepaid. So get you a prepaid phone plan. Text message is like $22 a month with tax, and you'll be in good shape there. The other one is T-Mobile. They're a little bit easier to work with, and they do use postpaid, and my card worked exactly immediately the time I inserted it in there. I had no trouble with T-Mobile, so it's up to you. Not the biggest fan of AT&T. We just moved our cell phone service from AT&T to T-Mobile, and we're very happy with that. But that's another story for another time. But you can choose T-Mobile or AT&T, and right now I've got a T-Mobile chip SD card in mine. Alright, so down here, important, phone numbers. I'm just going to type in a phone number. This is not my phone number, so don't try to call me. This is similar to my number, but not my number. Basically, just type it in. All right, you type it in with or without the dashes, from what I understand. It'll pull up either way, and I typically will do mine without the dashes and just type it all in. No ones, no plus ones or anything like that, especially if you're in America and just have a standard area code. Be sure you put your area code in. Be sure you put all the numbers in, all the digits, and then you hit OK. And then you go down here to save. This is very important, guys. Save your config file after you do it, all right? And what I'm going to do is go over here into my Dropbox. No, actually, I had this under, let me see here. I had this under a file. And I'll just put it in the Dropbox for now. And basically, you just leave it named as menu config. Save that config file on Dropbox, and it'll tell you, I'm just saving it on Dropbox for example, it'll say save config file okay. Let's say you need to resave it, alright? It'll just overwrite whatever the MS config, or the menu config file was before. It'll just override that again, and just create a new one, okay? So that's very, very easy. If you want to load your settings, you just basically, it's just like opening a document. Go in here, and the only thing it has is this menu CFG file. You click on that, open it, and you can open it and make any changes you want to as well, or even text your camera with the app, you know, any changes and that kind of stuff as well as you want to. And you can default your settings over here as well. So basically, that's the overview of how all this works. It's really not that hard. Easy to set up. You save that file on your SD card, okay? So you save the file on your SD card. Once you create the file in here, take the SD card, put it in your camera, and it will magically work. So I don't know how they do it, but it's kind of a cool situation that they have on how it works. So anyway, that is the rundown of how this particular system works with the Menu Config Plus. If you have any questions, you can always contact the manufacturer. They're very good with support, and will help you through any of these things. I figured most all this out myself because I'm fairly technically savvy. So there you go.
Alright, so back again with our camera, and overall it's a good buy. I mean, if you're watching this on Amazon, I'd recommend you get you one of these. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or any of the other channels that I've got this on, check out the link in the description. You can click on it. That'll help our channel, and you can get a camera of your own. But cellular game cameras don't have to be very expensive. There's a lot of more expensive brands out there than this one that don't work quite as well. So I mean, there's a lot of different thoughts to have about this particular game camera, that is going to be a cheaper, better solution for you than a lot of the more expensive cellular game cameras, even though you're kind of also down to 2 carriers instead of all carriers like some cameras. That doesn't bother me that much. AT&T and T-Mobile are easy to work with when it comes to the service. So check out this game camera on Amazon. If you're watching this on Amazon, recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching, reading, listening. Have an awesome day in the outdoors. We'll see you next time.